What's up, YouTube? Nerdish Geek here, and I'm just sitting here trying to make sense of everything, and I'm trying to give you everything, and I'm just like, I got to clear up some confusion. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clear up some confusion. What I want to talk about is Doctor Who, and the controversy that is Doctor Who lately. Alright, so, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you were probably watching the 50th anniversary special. And you probably noticed after the 50th anniversary special, there was a lot of posts. People were very confused. People were upset. People were losing their minds. Okay? And for good reason. You know, and Moffat's just kind of been like, you know, skating around it. And people want to know, basically, how many regenerations are there left, if any, and how many doctors do we have? And you know all of this came up because of the War Doctor. So in order for me to be able to clear all of this up, I literally had to go back in time. Ooh. Sorry, I have a cold, so if I sound kind of scratchy, that's why. But I had to go back in time, and I had to start from the beginning. And I literally had to, you know, count my way up to Peter Capaldi. So, we were introduced to Peter Capaldi again. He was in Doctor Who before. Do you remember what episode? A little Doctor Who trivia. I'll put it down there. We were introduced to him again, and he was introduced as our 12th Doctor. And this was before the 50th anniversary. So we knew on the Christmas special, Matt Smith's Doctor was going to regenerate into Peter Capaldi's Doctor, and that was Doctor number 12. Now, we watched the 50th anniversary special, and all of a sudden there's another Doctor thrown into the mix, and we're like, wait a minute, does that mean Matt Smith is Doctor number 12 and Peter would be 13? Which means that's it, done, no more? Wait a minute, how many regenerations have been used already? So, people were just kind of up in air. Now, if you go back, okay, and in order to go back, what do we know? We have to determine what we know. So what we know is, definitively, in the Doctor Who universe, the Doctor is allowed 12 regenerations total and 13 incarnations. Okay, so there can only be 12 regenerations total, and there can only be 13 Doctors. That's not to say that one Doctor can't use 3 regenerations, because he can. Okay, that just means you don't get 13 Doctors. Okay, so it's like whichever comes first. It's like when you buy a car and you get a, you know, extended warranty on it, and they're like, oh, you know, 2-year, 500,000 miles. Whichever comes first. So if you drive that car over 500,000 miles before the 2 years is up, you void your warranty. Or if you drive the car, you know, 499,999 miles, you know, whatever, you know, before the 2 year, you know what I mean. It's kind of the same principle. So, I went back, and if you go back, and you know this information, if you count from Doctor number 1 to Doctor number 8, we're good. We're golden, okay? So from Doctor number 1 to Doctor number 8, we've had 7 regenerations, okay? And that adds up, okay? So there would be 7 regenerations, 8 Doctors. You can count them. Doctor 1 to Doctor 2. Doctor 2 to Doctor 3. Doctor 3 to Doctor 4. Doctor 4 to Doctor 5. Doctor 5 to Doctor 6. Doctor 6 to Doctor 7. Doctor 7 to Doctor 8. 7 regenerations, 8 Doctors. Now, kind of lost track of my brain there for a minute. I can't count. Now, Paul McGann is the 8th Doctor, okay, and you should have known that. He's the 8th Doctor, and here's what happened. What we're to assume is that Paul McGann regenerates into Christopher Eccleston, because we were introduced to Christopher Eccleston as the 9th Doctor, which would make David Tennant the 10th, and Matt Smith the 11th. Right? That's how it is in a perfect world. But Paul McGann's doctor died. He was killed during regeneration. And before I go on, I just want to know, I just want you to know that the sources that I found my information on could definitely be wrong. I don't know. I have not gone back and watched the episode. But if I am wrong, please feel free to correct me down here, down in the comments. I want to know if I'm wrong. I don't want to tell anybody, wrong information or false information. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But make sure you leave a link, cite your source down here. That way I can go there and read and be like, oh, okay, yeah. Not that I don't trust you or anything, but it's always nice to have something to back it up, okay? But anyway, from what I gather, Paul McGann's doctor, the 8th Doctor, was killed during regeneration. And if that happens, he's dead, gone. And this was what I'm to gather during the Time War. Because as we know, John Hurt's doctor, the War Doctor, was the one that pushed the button and, burnt up Gallifrey during the Time War. To end the Time War. So, Paul McGann, 8th Doctor, whoops, sorry, my bad, my stuff is going nuts here. Paul McGann, 8th Doctor, right? He dies during regeneration. They kill him during regeneration, and I don't know the specifics behind that again, but anyway, that's what I was able to find out. And he is temporarily resurrected, okay? So he's temporarily brought back, and they're like, we need you to put an end to the war. And he's like, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, look, here's an elixir, okay? And this is designed to trigger life-saving regeneration. And you can choose what form you want to be, okay? And so he's like, oh, okay, well, I want to be a warrior. So he drinks the elixir, regeneration, turns into John Hurt, which is the War Doctor, and then disowns the name, the Doctor. So when Paul McGann regenerates into the War Doctor, I don't count that regeneration as one of the 12. And here's why. What we know about regeneration is that, one, it's involuntary, and two, we can't decide, they can't decide who they become, or what they become, what form they take. Whereas he was given both of those options. It was voluntary. He did not have to drink it, and he was able to choose what form he took. Okay, we know that the regeneration that happens that's involuntary, from David Tennant saying I don't want to go, and Matt Smith saying it's still not a ginger. Okay, so we know that, one, it's involuntary, they have no control, and two, they can't choose the form. But he had those choices. He didn't have to drink it. He could have just died, and he was able to choose to be a warrior. Choose his form, and he came back as a War Doctor. So because he didn't think that the universe needed a doctor anymore, so he wasn't going to come back as the Doctor. He wanted to be a warrior, so he's like, I want to be a warrior, and ended up burning up Gallifrey. If you watched the 50th episode, the 50th anniversary episode, when at the very end, toward the very end, when you see John Hurt's War Doctor turning gold to regenerate, you kind of see Christopher Eccleston poking through. So you know that the War Doctor regenerates into Christopher Eccleston. Okay? So the War Doctor would be our 9th Doctor. And I'm just going to write this down just so I can keep track for myself. Okay, so the War Doctor is our 9th Doctor, and he regenerates into the 10th, which is Christopher Eccleston. Now, that regeneration counts as a regeneration. So now we're up to 8. Right? Because there was 7 and 8, and then we didn't count the elixir that he drank. So, his regeneration to Christopher Eccleston would be 8 regens. So we have 8 regens and 10 doctors. Now, if you go from, Christopher Eccleston to David Tennant, that's 9 regens. And then if you go David Tennant to Matt Smith, that's 10 regens. And then if you go Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi, that would be 11 regens. Right? Here is where we get confused. Okay? That would work. Right? Because that would be, if Eccleston is our 10th Doctor, David Tennant would be our 11th, Matt Smith would be our 12th, and Peter Capaldi would be our 13th. And we would only have used 11 regens to get there. So that works. But here's where we have an issue. David Tennant used an extra regeneration. And a lot of people kind of forgot that. But if you remember, David Tennant was critically wounded, fatally wounded, and he had started regeneration. And he was, just like, oh. And then he stopped it. And if you remember right, we were like, oh, he's regenerating, and then he comes back as David Tennant, and he's like, I like who I am, or I like being me, or something like that. He used up enough energy from that regeneration just to heal himself. And the remaining energy he transferred into his severed hand that was in the jar on the TARDIS, remember? Remember the severed hand? And that counts as a regeneration. Okay? Whether or not he used it all and regenerated, but in that instant, we were also given the illusion that you could control it. Okay? Because he used just enough of the energy to heal himself and then transferred the rest of the energy into his hand, into his severed hand. It was never really explained how he was able to do that, but it counts as a regeneration because it started off involuntary. And then somehow he managed to be able to stop it midway and then transfer the rest of the energy. Now, if you remember correctly, the energy that was transferred into that hand ended up resulting in the clone of him that was made with one heart, the one that would grow old, the one that would die, the one that he left on the beach with Rose that saved the TARDIS, if you remember. And we got Dr. Donna. The energy, when activated in that hand, when Donna fell over on the TARDIS and smashed the jar open, it triggered the energy in there, and it just created a clone of him, basically, with one heart, and he will die, he'll age. And is mortal, And then we got Dr. Donna, too, so, that was kind of cool. But, can you count Dr. Donna? That'll be the next. I don't count Dr. Donna, but I don't even count the doctor that was generated from the energy, because he wasn't really a doctor. He was kind of like a copy of the doctor. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But that means that we have used up 12 regenerations. Okay? So we're at 12 doctors and 12 regenerations, because David Tennant used 2, which means there's no more regenerations for Matt Smith to regenerate into Peter Capaldi during the Christmas special. Now, there also is speculations that River Song gave the Doctor her remaining regenerations, and that's not true. She didn't. She didn't give him any regenerations. What she did was she used her remaining regenerations that she had to save him. And we know this because the dialogue after the fact, and this happened in the episode Let's Kill Hitler, River after the fact wakes up and she's like, hey, where am I? And Amy says, you're safe now. Apparently, you used all your remaining regenerations in one go. You shouldn't have done that. And then Rory says, Doctor, River was brainwashed to kill you, right? And the Doctor goes, well, she did kill me. And then she used her remaining lives to bring me back. So, right there says she didn't give them to him. She used what she had left to save him. And if you remember, she gets uploaded to the library. Sorry, I have a cold. But anyway, so no, he does not have any extra regenerations. This is what the controversy is. Whether or not, how they're going to write this. But as of right now, as we stand, Matt Smith is the 12th Doctor. and we have used 12 regenerations. So we've hit the limit of regenerations, and we've only had 12 doctors. How they plan on writing their way around that, I don't know. I don't know. Is there a way around that? I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I think that, you know, they could write something because, you know, in the anniversary special, they saved Gallifrey. Well, they froze it, so they, in a sense, saved it. Maybe, you know, he can find it, and I don't know. I don't want to speculate because I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know which way they want to go with it. But as of right now, we don't get another regeneration, which means we don't get another doctor. Which means if they still plan on killing off Matt Smith's doctor in the Christmas episode, that's it. And that's where it is right now. I don't necessarily think that they're going to go through all the publicity and all that to announce, you know, another doctor if they haven't already pre-thought that out. And I don't know that when they were doing the 50th anniversary special and they were rewatching it and they were like, oh, crap, you know, it's got to get out. We gotta get it out. Maybe nobody will notice, you know. I don't know that that's not what happened. Maybe they realized it after the fact and were like, oh, crap. What did we do? Oh, we didn't think about that. Oh, maybe nobody will notice. Well, we noticed. We all. And what really pisses me off about the whole ordeal is that no matter how many times that any of the creators or writers of the show are asked this question, nobody can give you a definitive answer. I mean, it's like they want to keep it all hush-hush. Which also leads me to believe that they have something huge up their sleeves, so hey. They were able to bring 2 doctors together in the 50th anniversary episode with a 3rd doctor, and then they were able to bring them all together. And if you remember, in the 50th anniversary episode, at the very end there was something, you know, like, oh, this is your worst nightmare. All 12 of them are here, and then you hear somebody off screen say, correction, all 13. Talking about 13 doctors. So Peter Capaldi would be number 13. However, David Tennant used 2 regenerations. That stingy man. Well, yeah. When he regenerated and stopped it midway and transferred the rest into the hand, and when he regenerated into Matt Smith. So 12 regenerations and 12 doctors. If you have another theory, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I would love to know what you think, but from all the information that I could gather, that's what I came up with. And that's pretty much where we're at. You know, do the math. Count it out yourself. And like I said, I mean, I have all the doctors written down, the episodes in which they regenerated, who they regenerated into, the years. I mean, I went the distance with this. And honestly, I tried to get as much, you know, logical and legitimate information that I could. So, definitely, you know, do your own research, see what you can find out, and let me know. Hey, so do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, and follow me. I'll put some links down there, and let's see where they go with this. We don't have many more days before that Christmas special, so who knows?